And so Enview is a tool we use in our studio wholeheartedly. And the next question is, well, what do you do when you can't get people into your studio space? And so that's where you want to use part of Enview. So if you're already using Enview, this might be a refresher for you. If you're not using it, the show special they have is worth taking advantage of. Dual View allows you to be here and sell to somebody on the other side of the country, other side of the world, have multiple people kind of dialed in and watching without bringing them into your environment. Now, this isn't just a COVID thing per se. This is something that's, it could be tied to COVID, right? Nobody wants to be in the same room, but it's also tied to destination events, right? So what if you've got clients? What if you're a photographer in Florida and you're a destination? People are coming to you. This is your way to do IPS with them in a remote way. Now, is it ideal? No, of course, I'd always rather have them face to face, but this is a great way for you to replace that and still give them that IPS experience. Now, what I want to share with you today are two features. One is just dual view, which allows you to have two view, okay. And then live view, which is part of that, so that we can see each other. And I'm just going to share it here in studio with Alicia, who's behind me in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. And so she's sitting back there, but I'm just going to share it with you to give you a sense of what it looks like on screen. So this allows you to actually have more engagement and interaction with your customer versus just this kind of sterile environment, or worse yet, right, having your iPhone up on a ledge or something like that, or doing Skype and having to toggle back and forth. So this becomes a much more cohesive process, in my opinion. So this isn't a real hard process to follow. It's pretty straightforward, so let's get into it. So you're going to go into Enview, right? I have two options here. I've got single screen or dual view. Now, if they were in my studio, I would be doing single screen because they're here and I'm just going to broadcast it on my TV. Dual view is going to generate a link for me that I'm going to send to Alicia or send to my client, and that's what she's going to be watching. So I'm going to click on dual view. And what you're seeing here on my screen now, it's pretty cool, is I've got a photographer screen and a client screen. Now, obviously, the photography screen is going to be mine. So I'm just going to copy this. And the client, well, let me copy the client screen. So the client screen is what I'm going to send to Alicia. Now, in and of itself, the client screen is how she's going to see it, right? So, and I'm going to do something here. Let me send this over to Alicia. Okay, so I just sent that link over to her, and I would send that to my client. So what I'm going to do for our purposes is I'm going to have this up on two screens. So let's see if I can do this. I'm going to open this up in a new window. Let's see what happens.
So Kristen asked if she doesn't have a studio yet, would this be a good way to start doing IPS?
So the question is from Kristen or Christine, or I don't see their name, but Kristen, sorry. If I don't have a studio, is this a great way to do it? This is a perfect way to do it from that perspective, right? So you can have this up. So this is the photographer screen. Now I'm going to open up the client screen in a new window as well. And so now what you're going to see side by side is on the left-hand side is going to be the photography screen, and then on the left-hand side is going to be the client screen. Now bear with me, right? I mean, it's not full screen. It might look a little clumsy, but it's not. I mean, so I'm trying to show you both. Remember, left is on the photographer, right is on the customer. Now, what we're seeing in all this is they see what we see. We control what they're doing. So they can't start the slideshow, start IPS or anything until we get there and start it, right? Very much like being on a Zoom call or something like that, right? It's waiting for the organizer to show up, right? Or let you in, whatever it is. So here, dual view is hot. Right now, I've got pinning buttons, the welcome screen, slideshow, things like that. So what we can do here is, so I click this and now I get, let me move this up, live view. And so live view is as simple as showing, right? And what ends up happening is in both screens. Now this is going to be interesting. Alicia, can you join with audio video? Yeah, I don't know what's going to end up happening here, so this could be a little clumsy.
The Matrix?
This is like the Matrix right now. Let's see what's going to end up happening here. So this could be, we've never tested this because Alicia's got the link on her laptop, but I also have it on mine. Did you hit?
I'm here. I'm joined.
You're joined. Why won't it let me join? I wonder if it's because my HDMI output's being used or my camera's being used. I wonder. I can't see you though either. Well, this is not good. Well, we don't see you. Let's try. Let's see if we try showing live view again. I wonder, it might be, guys, it might be because I've got HDMI plugged into this and it's just freaking out on what it's seeing. So I don't particularly know, but Alicia is seeing and it's trying to connect to the camera, and I have a feeling it's just tied to my configuration. So I do apologize for that. So what would end up happening is we would see Alicia and Alicia would see us. So this, I can turn this off. I can just join with my microphone. She can just join with her microphone. But in this window here is going to be a pop-up so we see each other. Now, once I hide this, okay, we can actually start. I've got my menu, and I can basically say, let's start the slideshow. And what you're seeing now is, again, bear with me, have some vision. My camera is not turning on, mostly because we've got this HDMI plugged in, so I don't know what's going on with it. I would see her, she would see me. What you're noticing is that on the left-hand screen, which is mine, and on the right-hand screen is hers, she's seeing exactly what I'm seeing. And I may close this window on the right-hand side once I show you all the features and then go from there and then see if the video pops up. But you're getting the gist here, right? Once that slideshow's over, we continue basically to the next step. So now, as I'm going through this, I'm controlling the IPS session. So again, on my left-hand screen is my computer. On the right is what my client is seeing. And so let me just close this for 1 second. As we go through, you're seeing how quick it's happening and changing, and it's happening that quickly for the client as well. So we've got all these things, and now we can heart images, and you see on her screen it got hearted, unhearted, right? Look on the right hand. We can then go into kind of, right, a compare mode. We can command click. She's now seeing, what if I want to see these two side by side? So this is giving you really, it's pretty intuitive, right? I mean, there's no hidden buttons and all this stuff we have to learn. It is pretty straightforward.
And you can also turn on and off the cart, the file names.
True. Notice that they are not seeing, I could turn off the cart and file names. So if I go here, notice my admin controls. I can hide pricing. I can hide ordering controls. So you see on the left-hand side, they've got a shopping cart. I can turn that off. Now they can't add anything to the cart. I can hide file names. File names will disappear. And I, of course, could turn off live view. So you've got somewhat control. Right, so if we just go back to single images, now you notice the image on the right, there's no file name showing. Now, you're going to determine what works right for you or not. But for me, we don't mind showing the file images because it makes it a little bit easier to communicate. But I don't want them to have shopping cart functionality or things like that. Now, this is a real senior that we shot. So I think this is pretty cool. We got some beautiful, stunning images of her. So if we go here, pick one of my favorites here. Right? Absolutely love this shot of her. It's just stunning. Shot we got of her. So this is, again, a real picture, senior. So now, again, we're seeing on the right-hand side, we're seeing what she looks like, what the client sees, and then on the left-hand side, we're seeing what I see. So this is the perfect tool for remote IPS. So even if you've got people in multiple parts of the country, you'll be able to do it. So let's do room view. So now if I wanted to show them, and Alyssa just showed you this, notice they don't see any of the metals, the product, the pricing, they just see the room. So now I can go, okay, I want to show them what a 20 by 30 would look like. Okay, and I want to pick, and I could have 5-starred and picked my favorite, but let's just say I want to go through here and I want to show them what that's going to look like on a wall. They're now seeing what that's going to look like as a 20 by 30. Right? And then we can add to this too, right? I can add another size. I can say, okay, let's add, that was a 20 by 30 horizontal, so let's add a 20 by 20 to the side. Let's pick, I'm just going to go through here. And
Sal, Heather had a question. The pricing they're seeing, that's the price they would pay, or is that your pricing?
So let's do this. The client's not seeing any pricing. So I don't know why you're saying the client's seeing pricing. This is what I was just explaining. You have control. The screen on the left is the admin, mine. Screen on the right is the customer. The customer is seeing no pricing. Now, between you and me, if you're just asking me what are they looking at, that's our a la carte pricing. That was what in the previous segment, Alyssa was kind of walking you through. And when I talked about pricing and packaging earlier this morning, was what I walked you through. This is our a la carte. So I don't care if they see it. If they were here in our studio, they would see that price. They'd be like $7.95. Don't worry about that. That's okay, because remember, we want to drive them to a package. So that's an okay thing. So anyway, now I'm going to adjust this, right? And I'm going to put that right there. And now I'm showing the client, and they're seeing what that might look like as a cluster or a 2-up or a 4-up, and they're seeing all that. But I can say, this is what I like though. This is a fun feature of this. I can say, you know what guys, hold on a second. Okay, I can say, let's go private. And I want to show you a different image. I don't know how you feel about this, but you notice as I'm doing this now, you see that they don't see anything on the right? Okay, that's because I took that out of the equation for them. So now I can reset, I can show them a different image, I can crop this differently, I can change the image. So now I go, okay, hold on, let me show you a different image that I think you might like a little better, right? Because that one's not really floating your boat. Let me show you a different picture. Maybe you'll love it better. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we're going to pull up, right? Okay, I'm just picking things. Let's go with this. Now, I'm doing this in real time. It's on a canvas. Save the edits. Okay, I position it. Notice nothing's changed on their side here. I love this feature, by the way, because it allows me to kind of do some housekeeping without leaking into what they're seeing. So now I can go, okay. Notice on the left where you see it, it says push screen. So now I can push that screen, bam, now they see that change. I love that feature. So this is a powerful feature. Now let me try this. Hopefully this is making sense because that's the whole point of this. This is dual view and live view bundled in. But let me close this browser and see if this helps now connecting with my video. It might not, and I apologize. So let's turn this on and off. You get the gist, right? I mean, but I'm hell-bent. I want you to see this. I hate screw-ups. You showed him a screenshot in yours? I know, but then now that means your presentation was going to be better than mine. I don't like that when that happens. Yeah, it asked me if permission, and when I click on permission, it says use camera allowed, use microphone allowed. I really do believe it is because I've got my HDMI and it's kind of screwing up the yeah, it's not knowing what camera to use. And I think that might be the problem. So I can certainly unplug this, right? Because don't forget, this is all connected. So you have to trust me here. This would be live view. It would pop up there for you, and that's what you would see. So guys, we are teaching you everything we possibly can to run a successful photography business. Alyssa killed it, I thought, personally. And now you're seeing dual view and live view working together. So this should be a cohesive solution for you here. So let me get into some questions here. So I got one from Joel. Do you order your prints through Enview, or do you just keep track of what they like and order through another service? This is an awesome question. Enview is fulfilled through H&H, okay? Enview does not have the same product catalog that H&H has. So more than not, we do not order through Enview. So we manually fulfill. Now, they're working at adding products back into that and making the Enview catalog as robust as H&H. It's just not there yet. So we love the products from H&H, but we're just not fulfilling through Enview. So we use, when you get to the invoice screen, we use manual fulfillment because we also don't get everything from H&H, right? So we get some products from H&H, some products from Bayphoto, some products come in through Enview, right? So we all use a multitude of labs. So that's why we like and use manual fulfillment. So you can use whatever lab you want and use Enview. You're not locked into using Enview for fulfillment. The question is, what are the size of the prints behind me right here? These are actually from H&H. These are 15 by 30 canvases, which is a very popular size for us, right? So these are vertical. They look amazing. But we sell that to our clients horizontally, which allows for my style of photography, right? That big, wide, dramatic It doesn't always look good in a 2:3 aspect ratio, so I kind of like the 1:2, which is a 15:30. It looks good, it lends to my photography, and it's unique. Clients love unique, so that's the kind of stuff you want to offer them for sure. So let's keep going with a few more questions. I see from Kelly Alley, Enview is such a game changer, especially now. Exactly. This dual view thing, I mean, I hope I didn't oversimplify it for you and just brush over it. I mean, I just went through it. It's super simple to use, the whole dual view platform. And then live view, now you're engaging with your clients to complete solution for you. It's just really a no-brainer when it comes to that. A lot of people saying Enview is a game changer for them. That makes me happy. Here's a great question from Jennifer. Can you lay out room view ahead of time? So the answer is yes. So let me hide this. Let me turn this off for you. I want to show you something here. So what you can end up doing is, right, when you can share this room. So let's say you wanted to take a shot. There's two things you can do. Your clients can actually send you a picture of their room, right? So you just tell them, hey, where are you thinking of putting this stuff? Like if you're really doing your job as a photographer, it's simple. Hey guys, you're coming in. I want to be able to show you what some stuff will look like on a wall. Can you do me a favor? Just take a picture of open walls in your home where you're thinking about putting this stuff. And then you can actually overlay on their home. Again, super easy process to upload it. So you just go in here, change room, and then you can click, as you see on my screen, upload room. So if they send you that picture, you upload it before the IPS session, and then when they walk in, they're actually walking into pictures on their wall. So you can do this and save this room now, but you can also share it. So now I can click share, and I can copy this link, and I can actually send this to the client, right? So think about this. Let's switch gears here. Client comes in, you have this amazing IPS session, you show them the cluster and the layout, and then they leave, and then their prints get in like 2 or 3 weeks later, and they're like, where did we say we were putting this again? What order were they going to be put in again? Nobody remembers. So this is a perfect way to end the night. Hey guys, we're so excited for you to get your prints in. Here's a snapshot of the room so that you have it for your records. So again, this is all built into the product. It's really a no-brainer if you're using it correctly. So for those of you who have Enview and you're struggling figuring out how to use it, just invest, maybe a couple hours at time and start finding all these subtle nuances that will make your workflow that much easier and make the client experience that much easier. So I could now save this, have the client come in, right? Not done, save for later. So there's all sorts of things, right, that we can do to make this easier for the client so that when they come in, you're going, hey, I took some liberty. Here's some potential clusters. Here's some potential 4-ups. Now, I will tell you we don't do that only because the client experience, they actually enjoy participating in it. So, we know what we want them to have on their wall and we'll guide them in that direction. But for the most part, we just want them to have a good experience participating in this, right? And at the end of the day, you're just kind of, right, breadcrumbing them along the path, and then they're like, it's their idea. Yeah, okay. So you get the gist.